Hello, hello, hello. It is your mom of three in NYC, and I am back with another video. Yay! If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Teresa. I am the mother of three loving. My kids are super loving. Loving kids living in the heart of New York City. I would love for you to join my YouTube family called My Tribe. All you have to do, SUBSCRIBE, SUBSCRIBE. Smash that subscribe button down below. We got a special group of tribe members who have been reading through the Bible with me since January 1st of 2023. My Bible scholars. You do not even need a Bible because every verse that I read, I'll make sure I put on the screen. I will be reading from the NIV translation, but whatever Bible you have is perfect. Just stick with it. Today's review, 1 Chronicles chapters 13 and 14. Let's go ahead and dive in. 1 Chronicles chapter 13. David conferred with all of his officers. I wanted to read verses 2, 3, and 4. This chapter is about bringing back the ark. He then said to the whole assembly of Israel, "If it seems good to you, and if it is the will of the Lord our God, let us send word far and wide to the rest of our brothers throughout the territories of Israel, also to the priests and the Levites who are with them in their towns and pasture lands, to come and join us. Let us bring the ark of our God back to us, for we did not inquire of it during the reign of Saul." The whole assembly agreed to do this because it seemed right to all the people. David took all the Israelites with him. They moved the ark from Abinadab's house on a new cart. Uzzah and Ahio guided it with all their might. Verse 8. David and all the Israelites were celebrating with all their might before God, with songs, with harps, lyres, tambourines, cymbals, and trumpets. When I read this, Bible scholars, with all their might, I was just so moved by that, because when you think back, things that we have done that have not been so godly, or even concerts that we've gone to that we have shouted and sung along with the songs, that's the way that these people were celebrating and worshiping God, with all their might. So I want to encourage you and myself, next time you're in a position or a space to worship the Lord, let's do it. Let's do it with all our might. The oxen stumbled. Uzzah reached out to steady it. Verse 10. The Lord's anger burned against Uzzah, and he struck him down because he had put his hand on the ark. He died there before God. David was angry because of the consequence of death befallen Uzzah. Verse 12. David was afraid of God that day and asked, "How can I ever bring the ark of God to me?" And when I read this, Bible scholars, I just admire David so much. His courage in fighting Goliath, and remembering how God had helped him kill a lion and a bear as he shepherded his father's sheep. But the fact that he's just so transparent with God, with what he's feeling, even if it is anger. David did not take the ark back to the city of David. Instead, the ark settled at the house of Obed-Edom the Gittite. Verse 14 is the final verse of chapter 13. The ark of God remained with the family of Obed-Edom in his house for 3 months. The Lord blessed his household and everything he had. Chapter 14. This is about David's house and family and David defeating the Philistines. The king of Tyre, Hiram, sent to David messengers, carpenters, masons, to build King David a palace. Verse 2, David knew that the Lord had established him as king over Israel, and that his kingdom had been highly exalted for the sake of his people Israel. David took more wives. David had 13 more children while in Jerusalem. The Philistines heard that David had been anointed king over Israel. Remember, Goliath was a Philistine. They sent a full force looking for him. Verse 10, David inquired of God, "Shall I go and attack the Philistines? Will you hand them over to me?" Again, David goes to God with everything. The Lord answered him, "Go, I will hand them over to you." David and his men went to Baal Perazim and defeated the Philistines. And the word Perazim means the Lord who breaks out. The Philistines abandoned their gods lowercase g there. David had those lowercase g gods burned in fire. Again, the Philistines raided the valley. I wanted to read verses 14 and 15. So David inquired of God again, and God answered him, "Do not go straight up, but circle around them and attack them in front of the balsam trees. As soon as you hear the sound of marching in the tops of the balsam trees, move out to battle, because that will mean God has gone out in front of you to strike the Philistine army." David obeyed God's instructions. They struck down the Philistine army. In the final verse of chapter 14, verse 17, so David's fame spread throughout every land. The Lord made all the nations fear him. The Lord did that. Again, the Lord did that. The Lord made all the nations fear him. I love doing this with you guys. As always, Bible scholars, questions, comments, revelations, please drop them down in the comments below. And any feedback that you have for me for these reviews, do you like the pace that we're going? Just let me know down below. All right, Bible scholars, I'll see you in our next review. Bye for now.